My dad kept a second family hidden in our basement. Today I found out the horrifying reason why. I always knew something was off about our house. It wasn't just the creaky floors or the way the wind seemed to howl through the eaves during the night. I had sometimes heard screams coming from the basement, but I was forbidden to go down there no matter what. But it wasn't until today that I learned the horrifying truth, and it would ruin my life forever. My dad was a quiet man, the kind of person who blended into the background of life. He worked long hours, often disappearing into his study or the basement when he got home. My mom used to joke that he was working on his projects, though she never seemed to know exactly what those projects were. And neither did I. I always figured it was something boring, woodworking, maybe, or tinkering with old electronics. He never let me down there, and I never thought to question why. I'd just gotten back from college for the summer break, expecting the usual routine of awkward small talk and my dad's half-hearted attempts to reconnect after months of being apart. But when I walked into the house, it was quiet. Too quiet. My mom was out of town visiting her sister, and my dad was supposed to be at work, but something felt wrong the moment I stepped through the door. The silence was heavy, almost oppressive, and I found myself standing in the hallway, listening for anything out of the ordinary. That's when I heard it, a faint sound, like someone crying, coming from below. The basement. I froze. My dad had always been adamant that no one was to go down there. He'd even installed a heavy-duty lock on the door a few years ago, claiming it was to keep his work safe. But the sound was unmistakable, a soft, muffled sobbing, like someone in pain. My heart started to race as I slowly made my way toward the basement door, my mind racing with 1,000 horrible possibilities. I hesitated for a moment, my hand hovering over the doorknob. Should I call the police? Wait for my dad to get home? But something inside me, some deep-rooted instinct, told me that I needed to see this for myself. So with a shaky breath, I reached up to the top of the doorframe, feeling for the key I'd seen my dad hide there once, years ago. It was still there. I unlocked the door and pushed it open, the creaking hinges sounding unnaturally loud in the silence. The sobbing grew louder as I descended the stairs, my heart pounding so hard I thought it might burst out of my chest. The basement was dimly lit, with only a few bare light bulbs hanging from the ceiling, casting eerie shadows on the walls. At first I didn't see anything unusual. Just the usual clutter, old furniture, boxes of forgotten junk, and the workbench my dad always kept meticulously organized. But then I noticed the door. A heavy metal door set into the far wall, almost hidden behind a stack of old crates. It looked out of place, like something you'd find in a bunker, not a suburban basement. The sobbing was louder now, coming from behind that door. My hands were trembling as I reached for the handle. It was cold to the touch, sending a shiver down my spine. I hesitated for a second, the weight of what I was about to do pressing down on me. But I couldn't stop now. I had to know what was behind that door. With a deep breath I pulled it open. The room beyond was small, dimly lit by a single flickering bulb. But it was enough to see the figures huddled in the corner, 3 of them, pale and gaunt, their eyes wide with fear as they looked up at me. A woman and 2 children, a boy and a girl, both around 10 years old. They were filthy, their clothes tattered and stained and their faces streaked with tears. My mind struggled to process what I was seeing. Who were they? Why were they here? But the answers came all too quickly. In the form of memories I'd long since buried. Little things, like the way my dad would disappear for hours at a time, or the strange noises I'd sometimes hear late at night. Things that had never made sense until now. My dad had a second family, and he'd been keeping them locked in our basement for God knows how long. I stumbled back, bile rising in my throat as the reality of it all hit me. The woman, she must have been terrified, yet she still managed to reach out toward me, her voice hoarse and broken as she pleaded, "Please help us." I didn't know what to do. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold my phone as I dialed 911, my voice barely more than a whisper as I told the operator what I'd found. But before I could finish, I heard the sound of the front door opening upstairs. My dad was home. Panic surged through me as I realized what this meant. He couldn't find me down here. If he did, I didn't want to think about what he might do. I turned to the woman, motioning for her to stay quiet as I quickly closed the door behind me. She nodded, tears streaming down her face.